is also a registered student of this institution. And once that is being confirmed, the school send it back to the NETFON, and NETFON now compare those lists. Then, okay, they send it back to the school. And once they send it back to the school, because the school will be the one to say someone who apply in social science, their school fees will be different for someone that apply in medicine, and those who apply in social science will also be different to those who apply in engineering. So their school fees is vary; it is everywhere. So that the school will be able to, okay, these people, this is amount they are paying, and once the NFON get that, they disburse the school fees directly to the account of the school. That upkeeping that I'm talking about, that is why students put their own account there, because there is a space for students to put their own account. The upkeeping of every month goes to the student account. And the students also have an access to apply for accommodation. Okay, you want to pay.
And it's also paid directly to the students?
The accommodation is paid directly to the school. The only money is being paid to the student is the upkeeping. So that is paid to the account of the Nigerian student.
All right, fantastic. It's important to also mention that this is not like a grant to the student. It's a loan, which they're expected to pay back. Okay, fine. We're talking about Nigerian students and national development. You're talking about what the government is doing to keep students in school and to get them properly educated. But, another major factor that is affecting how much students contribute, to national development is what happens after school. The unemployment rate in the country is increasing. At the moment, it's put at 5.3%. It's higher for females, put about 6 point something percent, and for male, 4 point something. That is a factor as to, if all of these initiatives that the government is putting into the welfare of the students and, the academics of them would materialize to national development in the long run. Because imagine you finish school and then you can't secure a job. So, it's like going back to the street. So that's one. And then, is the government also looking at out-of-school children? Because yes, we're talking about a number of people in school. That's less than those on the streets. Statistics says over 20 million at the moment. Is there anything the government is doing in this regard?
Thank you so much. Like I've said, this current administration has underscored the importance of students in national development, and as such, that is why the government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing everything possible to make sure that you have a very solid foundation for Nigerian students, have a very solid foundation for the youths that will take over from him. He's a president that he believes that the best legacy he can give to this country is to build a successful generation. And building that, you can only see that from the student and youth. And when you look at the youth demography of this country, the student takes the largest percent of the youth demography. So the president is quite key, is committed to student and youth development. And go back to your question. This loan, like I have said, is not a grant, like you said, is a loan that has no interest. And I'm saying this to our parents, to our, our brothers, our cousins, guardians, that this loan has no interest. It's 0% interest. So don't be thinking of go and be taking money from Lapo, Bomulo Lanta, or all these mushroom, micro finance bank that they will give you money and they will now be disturbing your life. Stop going and collecting money from them. Let your son, your daughter approach NETFON. And, for a president.
Sorry, please, what's the number of people, of students captured by NETFON?
I'm coming. The president who said, okay, I'm giving you this loan. And he said that once you graduate, 2 years after, you'll be paying. And paying when you have a job. So the president knows that he cannot give you a loan without a job. And that is why the president is working assiduously to make sure that we create jobs, opportunity for young Nigerians who are ready to work with the government agencies, working with the ministries and processors. And the government is also doing everything possible through SMIDA, through Ministry of Trade and Investment, that if you also have, like I have said, a skill that you believe that you want to develop after school, you don't want to be, you want to work for yourself, you don't want to work for anybody, and that you can be working on your own and pay this loan back. And that is why the president, through Ministry of Youth, that we have what we call 2 skills, as in one student or one youth with 2 skills. And this means that the president is also investing through that to, when you, after school, you graduate, you want to be doing one of 2 things. You want to go into business, then you can also have an access to money there, so that that loan can be paid back. And after 2 years, you don't have a job. They said you can approach court to swear affidavit that, I never get a job, so how am I going to pay? You go to, so automatically, if you don't have a job, you cannot pay back. So, and the president believes you paying back, that is where people coming behind you can have an access to it, so that that ministry, that agency will not die. So the president is doing everything possible, humanly possible, to make sure that we have jobs everywhere. As I speak to you today, within the 1 year of 1 year and 5 months of Ashwaju, I can attest to it. Those who want to do civil defense has opened their portal like 2 times. Police, fire service. As I speak to you, the FRIC just closed their portal. Go to Civil Service Commission today. Form is ongoing. Go to Ministry of Labour through the NDE. There are a lot of job opportunities ongoing everywhere. People are also moving. Those who are retiring, they are also filling the gap. Yes, and those who they are employing to these places are not the son or daughter of this president. They are not sons or daughter of. People used to say before that if you are not a family of a senator or a governor, you cannot get a job. This government is different, and that is why one of the reasons why I'm here today. We are celebrating academic excellence in International Student Day in 2024. We are taking it a new dimension because the president believes a son and a daughter of no person in this country can also have that access to the access that a son of a senator or a governor have in this country. That's so a daughter, a son of no person can have that access, can have that opportunity. It's there. It's just what we just need is just to wake and to raise the consciousness of our people. There's a lot of scholarship abroad that is happening in everywhere, but the point, most of our young one again, that is why this reorientation of our students need to set in. And I thank God today. I just watched that the Sunday Diary. It was here. I just watched Sunday Diary. Former Minister of Youth has now been spokesperson to the president on reorientation. That is need for us to orientate our people towards our value, to understand what we are doing. I have a lot of students who have data on their phone. What they are using it for is TikTok or what have you. Why other people who are taking opportunity of scholarship, from TED Fund, from PTDF, from Niger Data Development Commission, and so on and so forth. Lots from NPC. There's a lot of scholarship, but these people are not, and people who are taking it are not different. They are not giving the session to anybody that you must be. So that is about that. So the president is working and is creating a liberal environment for people to get employed when you graduate. I get it. And sir, to your question, I so much believe that if today your question again, sorry.
Well, I had asked earlier the coverage.
Okay, the coverage. As I speak to you today, yes, I cannot say authoritatively the numbers being captured, but I cannot say at least over 10, going to 15 or 20 million Nigerian students has been captured.
By Nelfund?
Yes.
All right. It would be good that you confirm that statistics.
Between 15 and 20.
Okay.
And as at last week,
that's a wide margin.
Yes, as at last week, the president of NANS, is because of my activities in Abuja here. The president of NANS, the net fund management, they were in the Northwest, sensitizing students on this net fund, telling them how to apply. You know how much Maduguri Unimade got. You know how much UI got. I get him. At the time, they said South and Southeast they are not being captured. But today, a reasonable number of institutions in the South and Southeast has been captured. And people are celebrating this. And that is why you see the students are now seeing that, yes, they have a president who indeed is interested in their well-being and their development, who is giving that access, who is giving that opportunity for them to drive. When you give an education, you give access to education, you have it's just, if you give water, you have given life. And so they have seen a president who is opened that door for them to be educated. So that is why the students everywhere appreciate this president. And what we are about to do tomorrow is also, to thanks and to appreciate the president, for giving access to Nigerian students. And are you getting me? So this year, International Student Day is about celebrating, celebrating the Mr. President. Thanks the Mr. President for giving us this. And we have never had it so good in Nigeria.
As at last month, the MD of Nelfund was talking about, the chief executive was talking about up to 350,000 applications. And so, of course, you have also placed the caveat that you can speak authoritatively regarding the coverage, but that's to make it straight. But I wanted to refer you again back to, the issue of the capacity to pay. Now, you have also agreed that if you don't have a job, you cannot pay. And then all the jobs you have listed are government. Government employs, the number of people captured by government employment, doesn't even scratch the surface of the teeming unemployed. And so we will be talking more about creating the enabling environment so that private organizations can take on board the teeming unemployed. Government can't take just the paltry that government can take.
Thank you so much. You are a civil servant today. The majority of our PAMSEC directors, deputy directors, if everybody is saying they don't want to work with the government, would they be that director, PAMSEC, deputy head of service, and what have you? And yes, I also agree with you, the private sectors. And I have equally mentioned here that the president has also opened doors, that if also you felt after school, even when you are in school, you must learn a skill.
So you can be self-employed.
Are you getting me? It is now very, very important now that while you are in school, you also have a skill that you are doing. So when you graduate, you will be self-employed. So that, like I have said, on your own, when you have what you are doing that is giving you money,
and you can pay back.
Let's take a look. A rep member pay back the loan he took in 1978. And as at that time, the loan was just 1,000 plus. And he said in his testimony that if that loan was not given then, probably he would not be where he is today. Today he is a serving rep member, because he have the certificate.
Of course, we appreciate.
Are you getting me?
All right.
And
because
he
of
has
time,
paid back. He just paid back because
good.
he said he will have paid back. But that is the body that gave that money then has been scrapped. But he believes that.
I hope Nelfund will not be scrapped by the time people are ready to pay. Okay, fine. Okay,
that
fine.
Was military regime.
Now it's time to go because of time. Really, we'd like you to tell us what you're having tomorrow, and then just quickly tell us what government is doing just to ensure that the Japa phenomenon, doesn't catch up with the people who are benefiting from, the government, Nelfund at the moment. What you're doing just so that you can keep them within the country and, of course, promote national development. And then tell us about your program tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Let me start by this Japa syndrome. Well, the president is someone that believes that, yes, you can exploit. He's a man that, when we have a president who understands what it takes, the president believes as a Nigerian student, you can, Nigerian youth, if you think you want to live, to go and exploit, and fine, it's a good one. And the president, what the president now said is, I will make Nigeria a place for you, that when you are there, you have no cause to say you want to stay there. You have to come back to Nigeria. So that is what the president is working. The president is working towards a country that everybody, wherever you have Japa, you have reason to say, I want to come back to Nigeria. And that we will start seeing the manifestation of all these by next year. Let me say this. Most of our colleagues are friends. It's only if they are not telling you the truth, what they are passing through over there. Some of them will tell you. I have a friend that just came home recently. He said, it's not easy. We can be making the money. Oh, if you have any one of them, ask them to send you 50,000. It's always difficult for them to send money here because they will tell you the bill they are paying, the tax they are paying. So they will tell you the analysis of the money they are taking and how the tax is also taking it from them. So they will tell you that the best place for them to stay now is Nigeria. I get him. And you see, they also find their way to come. So that is the president is doing. And towards our program tomorrow, like I have said, tomorrow is to celebrate an academic excellence, to celebrate the commitment, the achievement of Nigerian students, and to also celebrate the president who has given this environment, this enabling environment for Nigerian students to thrive, and to also celebrate our best brain. Like I have said, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is someone who encourage, best brain, who encourage people who are doing well, who excel in their field of study. I get him, and that is what we are doing. By God's grace, we'll be giving 6 fully funded scholarship, postgraduate scholarship, 6, 1 per geopolitical zone, and we have 6 zone in this country. Tomorrow, by God's grace, the university have sent the names of of our best graduate students. What the president is doing through my office is for your candle, the candle you are burning, to read, and for you to be an overall student in your university. That candle will not be wasted. So we have identified that, and that is why we are celebrating. So it will now serve an encouragement that tomorrow to other students. We also go to the extent that even the law school, now the DG has sent the name. A lady was the overall student in the 2022-2023 academic session in law school, who is best graduating student. We're also celebrating them. We're also celebrating the overall JAMB score in 2024 student. Even the secondary school student, the Bells Wahik, the Bells Neko. So we want to make sure that in Nigeria, we have a president that is looking into this. We have a president that encourage your
academic
effort,
excellence.
That your efforts. I guess me in the why you are in your efforts while pursuing your academic activities on campus.
All right, because of time,
the president will recognize that.
Thank you so much. Because of time, I think we'd have to leave the conversation at this point. Many thanks, Comrade Asher, for Sunday Dial, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement. It was a pleasure to have you on the program.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into the second part of our conversation. Stay with us.
Hey Nigeria, ready to breathe cleaner air and save money? Let's talk about gas. Drive with CNG, the smart, cost-effective choice. Fill up for less and travel further. Save money, save the planet. Switch to LPG for cooking. It's cleaner, healthier, and better for environment. Say goodbye to smoke and eye problems. Do you know Nigeria is a gas nation ranked 9th globally with over 209 trillion cubic feet of gas reserve? Gas isn't just for cooking and driving. It powers industry, industries too. Cleaner, cheaper, and more efficient. And the best part, conversion centers are popping up everywhere. It's never been easier to switch to gas. Join the cleaner energy revolution. Choose LPG for cooking and CNG for your vehicles. Clean energy for brighter future. This message is brought to you by the Office of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, supported by the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA.
I think Amaka should just move out of the house. Yes.
No. Standing out of the house is not the right thing to do.
Oh, there you go again with your sentimental family stuff.
Baby, if our aim is to stop this affair, it is best achieved under our roof.
You do something terrible, and you'll be acting innocent.
What are you going on about?
Don't ask me that question again. You couldn't even control yourself in the presence of our visitors.
What are you accusing me of, woman?
My son, I don't know how serious you are with my daughter, but there's something that needs to be done urgently before you move any further.
Anything, just anything, just say it. I'm ready to do anything.
There is a spell that needs to be removed.
A spell.
Family forever. The story of our lives.
This Sunday, live on Sporty TV.
Bienvenidos a Bilbao, bienvenidos a San Mamés.
Athletic Bilbao versus Real Sociedad. Watch live on Sporty TV.
Brought to you by SportyBet. Play with champions.
You have to move from the point where you protect and defend your religion to a point where you also recognize the rights of the other person, of the other religion, and protect it. So if I am protecting my own territory and my own people and trying to emphasize their rights and protect their rights, I should also be thinking about how to protect the rights of the others.
Both Islam and Christianity recognize and defer to God, and both recognize the temporariness of the life of this world, and that ultimately we all go back to God for the day of reckoning, when everybody will render an account of his life on this temporary abode.
There's a new group emerging in Nigeria as the Northwest coming under siege with escalating deadly attacks. Lakurawa. Who are the members of this group? Where are they coming from? What are their operating capabilities? Find out on Nta Tuesday Live, coming up on the 19th November 2024. Nta Tuesday Live on checkmate and resurgence of terrorism in the Northwest. It promises to be inclusive, incisive, and educative as ever. Join us.
This Saturday, Eintracht Frankfurt Werder Bremen. Watch live Eintracht Frankfurt versus Werder Bremen on Sporty TV.
SportyBet sponsors coverage of the German Bundesliga.
All right, welcome back. The Grand Challenges Nigeria GCNG project is an exciting initiative that's tackling some of Nigeria's most pressing health and development challenges. Launched in partnership with the federal government of Nigeria, this project is all about driving innovative solutions to make real impact.
And the project brings together government, non-profit, development and private sector partners to support local innovations and researchers. What are the future prospects of the game-changing initiative? Well, we are being joined by guests in the studio to talk more on the project. Let me first introduce Professor Salisu Abubakar, who is President, Nutrition Society of Nigeria. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
I've also been joined by Professor Folake Samuel, Program Director and Technical Lead, Grand Challenges Nigeria. Thank you for coming on the program.
Good morning. Also joining us for the conversation is Professor Lateef Sani, Executive Director and CEO, Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute. Many thanks for joining us, Prof.
Thank you very much. All right, Prof, let me begin with you. Talk us through the aims, the objectives. What's the initiative all about?
All right, thank you very much. The Grand Challenges Nigeria project is birthed out of joining the League of Grand Challenges around the world, which have been existing in different countries, mainly supported to address challenges in the various countries. So Nigeria was able to now get the Grand Challenges for Nigeria, which is coming through the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, but it's meant to be for Nigeria. And the main thing is, like you highlighted in your brief, is to see how we can use local solutions to our local problems. So it is about identifying the challenges for health and development in the country, and also getting Nigerians to find innovative ways of addressing those challenges. So that's all about. And what it means is we are going to get individuals from different sectors, academia, government, non-governmental, like you mentioned, to come up with proposals for identified challenges that they have initiatives that are innovative, that will be able to address those challenges. So funds will be provided for those individuals so that they take some researches that will now come up with solutions of some of these challenges.
All right, challenges. We want to know the specific health and development challenges this project is addressing. Professor Folake, could you help us with that?
Thank you very much. The request for proposals that we have just rolled out yesterday, announced by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, is about advancing innovative solutions for maternal and child health in Nigeria. The statistics that we have for the health of mothers and children are dire. Nigeria is one of the countries where it is very difficult to be a mother and to survive, to carry a pregnancy to term and to give birth safely. It's also a country where it's difficult to grow up and achieve your full potential as a child. Stunting, wasting and underweight, these are all indicators of malnutrition in children that is stunting their cognitive ability and their potential to become productive adults in the future. And we have millions of children who are affected by this. So these are the health challenges that this particular request for proposal seeks to look at. But we are not looking at ordinary research questions this time around. We are looking at visionary directives. We're looking at initiatives and innovations that can advance health in a grand way. Hence the word grand challenges. It's finding solutions to problems that are affecting so many people on a grand scale. So these are the points that we're looking at now.
How will the project impact the lives of Nigerians, particularly in rural communities and underserved population?
Very good question. The call for proposals ensures that the ideas that will be accepted for funding are ideas that look at sweeping problems and which provide solutions that are scalable. So the grant for now will entertain ideas that can be tested. So we call it a seed grant. It's going to just test on a small scale, but it must demonstrate significant potential for scalability. An idea which after testing can affect millions if marketed, and I use the word marketing now, not just in the commercial sense, but in the sense that there can
publicity?
publicity can be taken up by the government. It can be rolled out in the 774 local governments of Nigeria to affect millions, whether rural or urban.
All right, many thanks, Professor Falake Samuel. Let's get back to Professor Salisu Abubakar now. Listening to Professor Falake Samuel talk about improving maternal and child health. Of course, that gives me joy. But you want to ask, when you come up with the solutions and then just talking about getting the government to take it up and all of that, how do you want to get the subnationals, to actively take up some of these solutions? Because we know that most of the people who are impacted by some of these challenges, like my colleague said, are in the rural areas, and they are being controlled or managed by the subnationals. So how do you intend to bring them into this, not just the federal government?
Thank you very much. I think when we are talking of solution to problems in Nigeria, we always are more emphasizing on top to bottom approach now. One example is the recent program that the Vice President wanted to initiate by N774. So coming from the Vice President, the Chairman of National Council on Nutrition. So I'm just taking in that perspective as an example. So it means that it's now looking at it from the angle of the local governments, so coming up, not the usual way that we do things. Now Grand Challenge is trying to say innovative ways. If before we take it from top to bottom, now we want to see how best we can use bottom-top approach. And the engagement will be at various levels. And this solution that we are talking about, we don't have them within ourselves. We are expecting Nigerians to come up with them. They're only guided by the call for the proposal. And part of those things is you have to now integrate those aspects of showing how best it can impact at that level. So whoever is applying them for this grand challenge will have to show serious indication of how that is going to impact that rural level and also across board. Now if you're taking of maternal and child health, of course, like you have mentioned, most of the people that are affected are at that level. So I'm believing that whoever is bringing any innovative solution, we have to now figure out how best can those people be impacted. Otherwise, it will not scale through the process of getting you selected for the challenge. All
right. Professor Lateef Sani, let's get to you now. You're the Executive Director of Nigerian Stored Product Research Institute. What is the timeline for this program, really? Is it open-ended? What are your specific targets and goals within it? Tell us the timeline. And then can you also tell us what are the long-term goals?
All right, thank you very much. I think number one, this call is on short, medium term. So we're looking at 12 months, maximum 16 months for any of the project implementations and impact. And if we do that, at the end of the day, there will be another call within the cohort of those that have been selected. Some will also now be selected for scaling that will take us to the next 3 years. So that's the way the project is designed.
When you say call, are you looking at academics coming up, or is it just anybody on the street that can participate?
It's going to be everybody. This activity now goes beyond the academia. We are discussing, and I said it, that this is a silent revolution. It's a game changer. Unlike before, indigenous knowledge are very important and critical, and we've not been giving them enough respect. We knew when we were young in those days, if you recall, that we have trees in our streets. Exactly me that I live in Ibadan. As you wake up, your child wake up, there is a tree outside that they will plug and boil water, and they will give you, they will bath with you, and they will give you to drink. And that's Dongoyaro tree. All right? Where you want to eat bread in those days, we recall that there is a plant that we normally say we want to go and get butter. We get that thing, slice it, and put it on our bread. Do you know what we call butter in those days? Before margarine started coming to this country, and we messed everything up. Avocado. So we are going back to the grassroots. robo is another snack that if you produce it for 6 months, it will, and it's highly nutritious. The pregnant mother, if you have access to that kind of a thing, will be very happy. In Kano, there is a product that we call kunuzaki, that you get millet, sorghum, combine them together. We have indigenous knowledge that are not being taken to the forefront. Who said the media group cannot respond to the challenge? It's a challenge program. It's global. The only thing now is that you cannot submit that proposal by yourself alone.
And so now that you've talked about not being able to survey it alone, what's the potential for international collaboration? Or you want to now go this alone?
No. This is purely, in fact, it's a global challenge program. We have more than 20 countries already running it in different, India, Pakistan, Malaysia.
Localized already. In each country?
Localized in their countries, but being supervised by global office. Okay. So it's a North-South collaborative partnership system. At the same time, South-South collaborative partnership system. Who say you cannot draw your idea from Kano and implement it in Bayelsa? You can. And who say I cannot tap my idea from India or Fiji Island, the Pacific, to combine? So the point is that if you are writing a call, and I want to, the media is very important in this kind of a call. You want to go to Brass now in Bayelsa, in that you cross the water to the river, to the village, and look at what do they need there. So we need people, logistics, you need the media, you need the nutritionist, you need the food safety expert. And you now need the policy makers. Everybody we have to be, that's why we call it collaborative research program. Not inside it, you will train whoever want to get master PhD. That one is sideways. The real one is you must start from the needs, the grassroots. What do they need? It is from that grassroots that we now begin to scale it up.
All right, many thanks, Professor Lateef Sani. Listening to you talk about, leaves, trees, and all that parents used to use, and where we are today, having to look for processed stuff for everything. You want to look at how professionals will accept some of these researches, because when you talk to professionals, especially in the health sector, they tell you that some of the indigenous products that we have may not really be used because dosage, they give a lot of reasons why they're not acceptable in medical practice. How do you intend to surmount that particular challenge and make whatever products or research you come out with acceptable by all?
Yeah, so science is universal. So I think one of the key points that Professor Lateef Sani is making is this particular call should be multidisciplinary. Should be something that you can pick solutions from the collaboration of different sectors, media, nutrition, health, agriculture, to solve those problems that are challenging us. And not just that, these problems, these solutions must be homegrown, must be locally contextualized. We should stop importing solutions. We should make our solutions grounded here in Nigeria, because it will be more acceptable, it will be more sustainable, it will be more affordable. And since the scientific process is what we are looking at in this grant, we can be rest assured that whatever comes out of it can be tested, can be proven, the dosages, whatever, can also be scientifically verified. So it's not just a program that will bring about ideas that are not testable. They will be testable, they'll be tested. And not just that, they must be scalable. That is very important, because right now, transformative solutions go beyond just small classroom projects. They go right now into issues that think deeper inside the box and out of the box at the same time. And that is the challenge that we're looking at now. Not business as usual, Prof said it's a revolution, and that I believe it is a revolution.
All right, Professor Samuel, thank you very much. Let me ask Professor Bakar, how does the project plan to sustain its efforts and impact beyond this initial funding, timeline?
Thank you very much. For everything that we do, the sustainability is very, very important. And for this project, we already have built in that sustainability plan, in the sense that this word of collaboration that has been coming up today is very important to it. You see, private sector is engaged, the government is engaged, the other organizations that are local, subnational are engaged. So, for example, in this case, we already have, that's why we are with Prof. Sani. He's a partner to this project from his organization of Stored Product Research Institute. We already have Aliko Dangote Foundation sign up to this. We already have Nigerian Institute of Medical Research sign up into it. The most important is the government anchorage. So that's why the Vice President himself is the one launching this project. So the government's already taken ownership of the project because the government understands it's important. Nutrition Society is like not the project, but the actual person who owns it is the government. So the government has already identified that and taken the ownership. We should now make it more sustainable.
Has it been owned by state governments too, or it's just the federal government?
For now, we have the Office of the Vice President as part of the ANCO, and we also have Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. And they already have committed some budget lines for this project. Because at the end of the 4 years, like the Prof mentioned, we want to see now what next after 4 years. So government now putting in some money, and the partners that are engaged in the collaboration also having some money to keep it sustained. So even at the end of this funding, we are hoping that the government budgeting for it, the different partners that are on it, will continue to provide support for the project.
What are the long-term goals? I'm sorry, Henry. What are the long-term goals of this project?
Yeah, it's been mentioned several times. The goal is to see that we have contributed to development of Nigeria in different perspectives. Now, this call is targeting maternal, newborn, and child health. So by the end of this, we're expecting to see changes in the indices for maternal and child health. We already have sustainable development goals, for example. This one is coming around 2030. So whatever you're doing, you're trying to address, to address the goal of the country in terms of development, which is the project aligning with. So after this, the next call will now target another challenge, which will now also be targeted based on how much of the indices that we have that we need to reduce based on the country's plan. So we always try to align with what the country is trying to achieve in terms of development in the country.
All right, Professor Sani, I'd like you to tell us, you said everyone can participate in this program. So just give us the procedure. So someone is watching you at this time and is interested, how can the person be a part of it?
Well, thank you very much. When I entered this place, I saw something which looks indigenous, but we were not taking care of it before. Thank God for the COVID-19. My senior colleague they gave him tea, and he came out with his own secret. And the secret that he did was he was squeezing something onto the tea. What was he squeezing? That's lemon. That lemon, people do not know that it's a functional food. If you drink lemon water, lemon tea, all these cancer, all these things, they will be reduced. So now the concept is we've made the core. If we look at the core and remember what we took to survive during COVID-19, ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, garlic, all these things. I say, wait a minute. In our village in those days, my grandmother used to compound some of these things together. Just like his Royal Highness Ooni of Ife said at the stage and challenged us that we should come to him that he has solutions. So if he's interested in coming out with a challenge program using our indigenous plants, do you get it now? Ephraim, scent leaf, and all those things. He looked at his colleague or whoever at the university, NAFDAC, SON, come together, brainstorm together, have the idea and a concept, then you respond to us that we have this concept. Can we be allowed to be pitched along with other competitors? Then we are going to have a kind of project concept ideation pitching, where every one of us will see it glaringly, and we look at it and begin to rank it and look at it. If we pick this one, where is it going to benefit? It's going to benefit Northeast, Northwest, Southwest, North Central. Wow, take it down. If we take it to the community, who will use it? These people will use it. You don't need too much education to use these things. Just boil water, put it down, and drink it before you go. Mark. So those are the way we are going to iterate those criteria to be sure that by the time we pick the best 10, anybody, anywhere in the globe can say you have done your best. As we are doing that normally, there's going to be scientific analysis of everything, like we have said, measurable quantity, like we have said, everything will be done, documented. And immediately you do that, the next thing will now be the pilot stage. It is when you get to the pilot stage that you know that we can scale it. If you say it's 1 gram, can we scale it to 1 kilogram later? That's the meaning of scaling that we're talking about. And once we are sure of this, we now privatize or commercialize and release it. At that level, once the private sector buys it, don't forget, the private sector will be with us in the ideation stage. Everybody, like I said, that is important, we have to be there. And the president of the Nutrition Society has said it, we do not have the 10 solutions as we are talking. It has to be coordinated by all of us. And I still repeat, indigenous knowledge in this country, if we recall back to it, our longevity will be increased beyond 57. We'll move to 80, 85, just like the way Obasanjo is rolling around.
All right, thank you. Professor Falake, you know, listening to the 3 professors in the room, you know, talk about this, it's very exciting. And then you want to tell us, how would this, you know, in long term affect the health sector? Because at the moment there are so many challenges. Pricing, medicines are not affordable. Access, you know, for so many people in rural areas, it's not there. And then the fact that most people are coming down with all kinds of ailments, the present economic challenges, people can no longer feed well and, you know, do the basics, you know, just to stay healthy. So how would this change the narrative in the health sector?
The causes of these problems that you have iterated, there are different levels. There are immediate causes, there are underlying causes, there are basic causes. And the solutions to this will take time, no doubt. But we are not saying there are not initial initiatives. There are current ones that are ongoing, that are working. But one of the long-term goals of this project is to sweep the corners of the room. What already exists in terms of research? Can we bring them together and actually scale them? And how are we doing that? This project actually brings together so many innovators. We want to start up an ecosystem of innovators and of research that has impact at scale. So by the time we do all of that, we will have a lot of effects and impact on the health sector in the coming years. Like I said, it's a slow process, but what we need is incremental change, transformative change, consistently and directed by national priorities and national homegrown solutions. So the long term is reducing the poor indices in maternal and child health, bringing together an ecosystem of innovators, sweeping our room and knowing what exactly exists that we are not using, that we can use. So these are the long-term issues in this project.
All right, let me stay with you, Professor Samuel. Policy can make or mar the project. How well are you engaging with policymakers, of course, to advocate favorable policy making and regulation to ensure that the project can at least outlive this initial timeline?
Yeah, that's a very important question. So one of the cardinal points of this project is government anchorage. So Nutrition Society of Nigeria has kind of birthed it, but having birthed it has handed over to the government. The program was launched yesterday by His Excellency, the Vice President.
Government has 4 years per time.
Yes. So it is institutionalized because there is, yes, there is an anchoring ministry, the Federal Ministry of Innovation. We mark that word, science and technology. And if there is one word to describe our program, it is innovation. So if it is domiciled in that ministry that has the mandate for innovation, and a budget line has already been created in that ministry to ensure yearly continuity of this program, definitely
but you see, another government can come and this Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology can be changed to something different.
But the mandate will not change. The mandate will not change.
You marked innovation.
Yes.
Innovation wasn't quite there.
That's new.
The good news is that we are from universities. We are also at the national agencies in this country. And we are also professional bodies. When we say Nutrition Society of Nigeria, it's not just Nutrition Society of Nigeria. We have the Nigerian Academy of Science, we have Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Tech. Every one of us are part of this drive. And the private sectors are there. That is my own game change, the private sectors. By the time we work very well to get 2, 3, 4 products in the hands of the private sectors, it's going to take over this initiative at the end of the day.
All of you academics, to what extent, because the Ministry of Education is more, has been there and will always be there. It's more, why didn't you anchor, around the Ministry of Education, for instance?
Now, it has its own different dimension. Because today, by Nigerian Charter, the ministry that is anchoring innovation is best seated. If I want to talk of pedagogical method, teaching method, demonstration methods, then I will anchor it in Ministry of Education, but not on innovation.
Okay, many thanks. Professor Salisu Abubakar, the program has been launched, you said yesterday, so 24 hours and counting. What should we expect to see in the next few months?
Well, in the next few months, that's a very good question. I think we've already started counting. In the just past less than 24 hours, already have started seeing people applying for this challenge. And we already have seen people come in to ask so many questions about how are they going to go about it. So in the next few months, from now to 2-3 months, we are expected to close the call for proposals. So our expectation is within that time, we should be able to get as many applications for these grant challenges as possible. And we'll begin to now see how our team of reviewers will begin to work on trying to see, like Prof mentioned, what are the best 10 that we can take to start with.
Is there a website or something? How are these calls?
Yes, we have a website for the Grant Challenges Nigeria, and there's all the information for the challenge is posted there. We also have all the media handles that people can also lay hands on, and all the information that is required, including if one wants to call for conversation on phone or email. So we have all the information that people can
Tell us
use.
the website.
I think I'll hand to Folake to do that.
Type Grant Challenges Nigeria in Google. It's optimized for finding. Yeah.
You say www.grantchallengesnigeria.com.
Okay. All right, but I don't know who is best suited to responding to this. What is the place of the media? All of you have mentioned the media at one time or the other. So what's my place, for instance, as a media practitioner, if I want to find a place?
That's a very, very good question. See, for most of the challenges that we have, whether grant or whatever challenge you call it, in anywhere in the world, including Nigeria, the media is key to addressing that challenge. Now, if I take nutrition as an example now, we have what we call social and behavioral change communications. Sometimes it's not like the food that we don't have. It's not the resources that we don't have. You can have abundance of food, and people scared, but you don't know how to use it. So enlightenment is very, very important. And how do you do that? It's through the media, different media handles, the different strategies that we can get from the media. So for example, on this challenge, I would expect people from the media to get themselves organized to say this is the new innovative way of getting information across, or reminding whether it's mother or husband or child in terms of addressing maternal and child health issues. So without that, we'll be doing a lot of things that will not be able to get to that grassroots. Is it identifying the best way to get to the mother at that rural village? Is it radio that she's listening to? Is there a way that we have to use phone? Is it that we are targeting the adolescent? How can we use media to get them engaged? So there's a lot that media can do, and it's necessary. I don't think that there's a way to solve any problem without it.
All right, Professor Folake Samuel, we're about to round up this conversation, but let us know, those who are pitching ideas, who are going to be a part of this challenge, is there any form of incentive for them, or is this just the fact that their products or whatever it is they're coming up with gets a national platform? What really is obtainable by those pitching ideas?
So there is, like was mentioned before, there is a technical review committee that will be looking at the different proposals. Both local and international reviewers are in that pool. These are people who are innovators, who have also broken the frontiers in their different countries and in their different areas. So they have an eye for innovation. So after that, there's going to be the award of 60 million naira for each winning proposal. And they're supposed to carry out that work for 12 to 15 months. After which, there's going to be another call to see among these 10 which 4 are the best scalable solutions. So the
60 million is
for each grantee in this first level. So we expect that this money is able to show us the potential of a seed innovation that can be scaled later on. So the benefit goes beyond the grantee. The benefit comes to Nigeria. So what we are doing is like we are catalyzing some thought process and some kind of...
So how do you intend to monitor? Once you give out that 60 million, how do you monitor to ensure that...
There's a robust monitoring and evaluation system.
Because I can just take 60 million and jackpot.
No. There is a robust monitoring and evaluation system. We have a governing board, we have an advisory board, and in the advisory board, we have development partners, we have government. He is part of it. NISPRI, his organization is part. NAIMA is part of it. Dalbag Advisory, Aliko Dangote Foundation, FHI 360, Alive and Thrive.
So when you get the money, you can't board the plane?
You cannot board the plane. Too many eyes are on you.
Money will be in the bank, so it's not in your pocket.
Yes, and it's going to be released in
Dedicated
tranches.
account.
Yes, with milestones. So once you achieve one milestone, the next tranche is released to you. So there is a robust monitoring and evaluation system.
All right, thank you so much for coming on the program and enlightening us about the Grand Challenges Nigeria project. We do sincerely appreciate Professor Salisu Abubakar, President, Nutrition Society of Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us, and we wish you all the best. Professor Folake Samuel, Program Director and Technical Lead, Grand Challenges Nigeria project. It was a pleasure to have you. Professor Latif Sani, Executive Director and CEO, Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute. Thank you so much for the reminder about some of the things that we could use, within us without having to go for processed food. Thank you. All right, so that's it on Good Morning Nigeria this Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Remain tuned to the NTA. I'm Ian Ray John.
And I'm Victor. I will see you again tomorrow.